everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have got coverage of the manufacturer series from this past weekend. As you can see, I am in the Corvette C7, and it is a race around Interlagos. I was pretty excited for this race because the car is very stable. It's a pretty good handling car for front-ended rear drive, and the tyre wear wasn't too bad. Anyways, we are jumping on board here with me on my final lap for qualifying. As you can see in the right there, with the tyre wear being so low, I managed to do a couple of runs without having to pit. It probably wasn't the right choice because I was getting a bit of tyre wear, which did affect my lap. But anyways, we move on. Yeah, the Corvette was very good around here, which was very surprising. But it was very good because of the straight, which is predominantly uphill, and that V8 torque does help me up the hill. However, as you're about to see, if you do mess up what I consider the last corner, it affects your entire run up the straight and your entire next lap. So yeah, this corner that we're coming up to now, if you mess it up like I do here and understeer, you're going to have a bad run up the hill. So I was purple through all the sectors, but I knew that that final mistake was going to cost me dearly. So I decided just to finish this lap and see where we ended up. In the end, my qualifying lap was only good enough for 4th, 6/10 behind pole position. That Hyundai, as many of the top 10 races have noted, is very, very fast. Anyways, coming up to the grid now, and you can see the different lineup. The Toyota 86 is pretty far back for being such a good car. The Hyundai, Aston Martin, Mercedes, and myself in 4th in that beautiful livery. Thank you, vodka. GT86, the Golf, Porsche, Lexus, another Corvette, which is nice to see, another Aston, another Lexus, another Porsche, Subaru, BMW, Toyota, Ferrari, Mazda, Porsche, Ferrari, and a Jag at the end. Anyway, jumping on board here to the beginning of the race. I knew that fuel wouldn't be an issue, but to be honest, I didn't do that much practice for this race. I needed one practice race, so I would learn later watching Tejni's stream that I should have been holding the throttle down throughout all of that and revving full range the entire race. But anyways, start of the race here, heading down towards T1. If you're not in first, you do get a good run down to T1, making sure that the Toyota isn't getting a better run than me. Braking into the first corner here, very nice and smooth. What I was really hoping for was for the top 3 here to really start battling early on so that I could catch up and just sneak past. But instead, the first and second broke away a little bit, and then myself and the Mercedes in front of me, we grouped up into our own little group. So I just needed to follow the Mercedes and protect my tyres the best I could. We've got a much better run through that corner onto the Mercedes here. Coming up behind him, I wasn't going to shoot up the inside, it was only the first lap, and I don't want to take that risk just yet. Following the Mercedes through, hard on the brakes here. Noticed that the Corvette is very, very good on its brakes, so the hard braking scenarios wasn't an issue. It's coming up to the very tight bend here. I do not know any of the corner names except for the Senna S. Anyways, coming down this long sweeping left hand here. I like to keep a tight line. It sacrifices some speed, but in the end it doesn't affect me too much. Coming to the last corner here. This corner was a make or break for your next lap for the entire race. As you can see, I got a slightly better run on the Mercedes, and I'm letting my V8 in the slipstream just catch up to the Mercedes. So right to behind the Mercedes, I knew that I could make a move here, but he does cover the inside, so I go to the outside. I knew that he would have this corner, so I brake a little bit earlier. He locks up his front left, and as we go through the center S here, cutting as much of it as the game will allow without giving a penalty. Following the Mercedes through it, you can just see when you go for a move and it doesn't quite work out how much time you actually end up losing. So I had to bear that in mind, that if I was going to make a move on a car, I had to make it stick. So that with that plan in my head, I knew that I just had to be patient and wait for my opportunities. Anyways, you can see how much better we are up the hill than the Mercedes. Right behind him again. Hard braking zone again. Corvette very good under brakes, very stable. Right on the back of the Mercedes now. Going through the hairpin. Going up the hill again. So the nice hard braking zone. I brake at the beginning of the curbs on the right. It's almost like a late apex. It's a very weird corner that, and it's very easy to get wrong, but once you get it, you got it. So, you know, coming to the left hand here, final corner. Being on the brakes there is essential to your timing and getting a good clean exit so you can get a nice run up the hill. As you can see, I've got pretty much the same run as the Mercedes, but the slipstream is carrying me a little bit too far back this time around to go for a chance, so I'm just going to follow him and let off the throttle and the brake, but at the same time as the Mercedes, just so I can get nice and close. Cut this center part of the center S as much as I could. Coming around here. And then you see the Frenchman ahead. Unfortunately, he got a 1.5 second penalty for cutting that corner just a little bit too much. Yeah, at this point I knew that I just had to stay with him, try not to battle with him, because if I start battling with him we both lose time and then we lose sight of the front too. So at this point I was willing to stay behind him, let him push the air for me and overtake him when he has to take his penalty. But you can see that the Aston Martin going wide, so now also the Hyundai in first place is also having a bit of a shocker this lap, and I thought that this would be the best opportunity for myself and the Mercedes to go through, but Mercedes is going a little bit slow around here, so I just dip out of the slipstream because I don't want to put him under too much pressure. Coming down to the final corner, I'm not going to go for a dive bomb. Unfortunately, in the exit, the Mercedes just gets very, very loose. So I actually short shift quite a bit into fourth there. And I was thinking about bumping him along, but I don't know, a lot of people don't like that, so I didn't. So I dipped out of the slipstream and dipped back in just so I can keep my distance. Yeah, I dip out of the slipstream very, very early. I don't want to have to battle him. I want him just to go and get his penalty as quickly as possible. I don't want to slow us down because then we'll lose sight of the front two. Anyways, going to the center S's for the fourth time, following the Mercedes here now. When you use him, all the slipstream that he is worth until he ghosts. Getting a great run for both of us. I dip out of the slipstream, and yeah, that was pretty much the battle with the Mercedes. Skipping ahead in the race to lap 6, I'm starting to make ground on the Aston Martin as he runs wide into the first turn. I'm going to cut the curve as much as I can. I'm going to follow him here. I'm getting a great run on the Aston. You see the ground I'm covering on him. Yeah, unfortunately for the Mercedes, his race didn't go to plan after the penalty. Anyways, the Aston Martin dips to the inside to defend. I don't go for a shot there because you just go a little bit wide like we do there. You can just see that the tyres want to slip off. Anyways, getting a great run up the hill here on the Aston Martin. The dip to the outside. I'm not going to fight him too hard on this corner because you can see how wide he ran there. So if I had to run around the outside, the chances of us both running into each other would have been pretty high, so I didn't do it. Anyways, dip to the inside there. Tries to go for the cutback, but I get the inside of the hairpin and the run up the hill. Nice and clear. I go defensive here to as defensive to the left as you could, because I wanted a good run around the long left sweeping hander here. So yeah, in the end it was a pretty clean move for myself and him. It was a great battle, and I'd like to say thank you. Unfortunately, that was the end of his race there. Just that little mistake of dabbing one wheel onto the grass while braking. So from here, I was going to brake free, but the power of the Aston and the slipstream, you can just see how quickly he's catching up to me. This would be his last hurrah to try and pass me into the first corner. I saw him coming, so I go onto the racing line, hit my braking marker, and I cut to the inside. Unfortunately, he outbroke himself. He did a good job not to ride into the back of me, so congratulations for that. But that unfortunate move put him right into the sights of the Frenchman. You know, skipping to the end of the race here, you can see I just couldn't manage to catch the Hyundai, but I did pull away from the Mercedes, and the advantage ended up fifth. He got a penalty, so the Cayman came fourth. So yeah, that Hyundai Genesis is a very, very quick car now with the new physics. A lot of the top 10 players have been saying so, and you can also see in the selection of from previous season, everyone was going for mid-rear or rear cars. Now a lot of people are choosing front rear cars, such as the Genesis, the AMG, the Corvette, Aston Martin, and the likes of Jaguar. So in the end we finished second place there. It was quite a good race, nice and clean, which was nice to see. A big shout out to the guys who I raced with for being very clean and very professional. But yeah, that was a great race. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like or comment. Feel free to subscribe for more content. I'll have the Nations Cup up tomorrow. Cheers.